trying to think, man. Shit was still popping, like Club Speed and shit like that was still rocking.
You used to go through the tunnel?
I've been to the tunnel.
I've been in the tunnel one time. That shit was crazy.
I've been to the tunnel twice. I've been there with Roc-A-Fella and them niggas. I was running around with them.
When they performed that time?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
shit,
there.
what?
I was there. I was on the stage. I was on the back, like, behind the stage, but I was
now
there.
I gotta go back to that video, watch that again.
I mean, the funny shit is I went back to the video just to see if I could catch me, but it's so grainy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was there. The first time I went to the tunnel was that performance, and I remember that shit.
You are now watching Rhymes and Politic. Spit them balls.
Yo, check it out. It's your right hand man, Cise, the host of Rhymes and Politic. Yo, we got another Harlem night in the building, man. This guy, when he came in, his class was he came up with a class of monsters, man, that's doing their thing now still. We talking about Fabulous, The Locks.
Yeah.
Ali Vegas?
Ali Vegas, 50 Cent.
J Hood? J
Hood came a little later.
Okay.
Joe Buttons. It was a lot of
Ransom to 18.
Ransom to 18. Gravy.
Yeah.
Who else?
This is like early 2000s, 2001,
Philly's
2002.
Most Wanted. Major Figures.
Right. Dutch and Spade. Them niggas was fire.
It was a lot. Yeah, Dutch and Spade.
Those my favorite.
Two of my favorites out of
Major
that.
Figures was fire though. Like everybody was dope. I like Ab Lava.
Yeah, Ab Lava is dope as shit.
It was just something about Dutch and Spade. Dope son.
Gilly. You know what I'm saying? Me and Gilly, we sparred for like an hour straight battling and shit.
I heard
in the
about
studio,
that story.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, man, there's a lot of sharks.
Yeah, yo, you came through. Even some of the battle rappers like Loaded Lux, Murdered Mook, and all them.
They came a little later, but they was around definitely. They definitely was around in the mix, like, during that time. My man T-Rex, shout out to T-Rex.
Yeah.
Me and
So
T-Rex
you was already, so they looking up to you like the big bro to them.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. You know, we all family, we all from the town. You know what I'm saying? And they might call me big bro and all that, but I look at them as equals and all that. You know what I'm saying? But they family, but they all titans in their own right. You know what I'm saying? Like all of them inspire me to write. You know what I'm saying? I've been in ciphers with just about all of them been on songs with just about all of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember me and T-Rex did a joint for K Slay. Rest in peace to my man K Slay,
No
man.
doubt.
We did a joint for K Slay, me, T-Rex, Black Rob, a bunch of cats. It was probably like 7
Big
8
L's
cats.
on there
Big
too,
L was on that
McGruff?
joint, yeah. McGruff, Big L. Big L was on the joint. And I had always wanted to do a joint with Big L, so I was really excited
dope.
that Big L was on that joint. Rest in peace to my man Big L too.
How was Big L, like his character, like when you was around, what you saw? Because I'm pretty sure you was like a fan watching him. He's the big bro to you, the big brother to you.
Big L was like RJZ. Like he was like R for Harlem, you know what I'm saying? He was like the big dog, you know what I'm saying? He was witty, he was clever, he had the punchlines, he had the metaphors, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you felt everything that he said. McGruff too, you know what I'm saying? They all part of that class. Like,
yeah, shout out to McGruff. I fuck with McGruff too.
Yeah, I fuck with McGruff.
What was his character like? Just outside of the music, y'all just hanging in the studio and all that. Was he like a jokester or just real calm, cool?
Nah, Big L had passed away by the time that song was done.
Okay.
So when that was done, it was like, K had the verse already tucked away.
Okay.
So I wasn't fortunate to work with Big L in the studio. But
did you ever see him?
Yeah, I've seen
time?
Big L in Harlem in real time. Yeah, hell yeah. I remember one time, I probably was like 16.
Yeah, we getting the stories.
Yeah, I was like 16, right? 16, 17 or whatever. And I had like a little job or some shit, right? Like my homegirl from the hood was like hooking people up with jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a McDonald's job. And I remember like, yo, I don't want to do this shit like this McDonald's, whatever. Not to knock it, but I was like, I ain't want to do this, whatever. But I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And we was on the McDonald's that was on 130, 38 for whatever it is.
Lennox?
In Lennox.
Yeah.
And I'm in that joint, and I seen a nigga Big L order something, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Big L. Like,
that's great.
So I was like, let me go outside, and I come outside, niggas is, ciphering whatever, and Big L was just watching, and he like listening to niggas, because there was other niggas outside that was rapping. I walked off the jaw, went back to my block, came back to the hood, and rhymed for Big L, because I was just like, I was so determined for him to hear me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because we already knew that he was one of the golden ones, he was one of the greats, you know what I'm saying? So That was the first time I rhymed for Big L, was right there on 138 from Lennox. I think it was 138 or something like that.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't even know if that McDonald's is still there.
It is still there.
It's still there, right?
Yeah, it's still there. I think that shit ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. It was
just everything around it is changing.
Right, everything around it is changing. That's I knew that for sure. Like,
so question, how you feel about the new Harlem that's going on right now? Because they got like some hotel next to the Apollo called the Victoria. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. It's crazy.
All these new sky rises and all that.
They even turning the old movie theater into like a restaurant or some shit or some crazy.
The AMC, right?
The AMC, yeah.
Or St. Nick?
No, remember the old movie theater on 2/5? Not the Magic Johnson.
Okay.
So that joint, they turned that shit into like a little spot, I think, last time I heard. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in Harlem, I was like, wait, this is like a landmark, but it's like / like restaurant or something like that. I heard about it. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Now Harlem is like Disney World now. Like,
it's
as
crazy.
Far as like,
I miss the old Harlem.
I miss the old Harlem too, like the vendors and the Mart 125.
Yeah, the stores that was there.
The energy is different.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even go down. I don't be chilling down there like that. I just be passing through now. Like,
anytime I come through Harlem, I just go through, I go to my block, see my homies, you know what I'm saying, show some love, sit with the niggas and shit for a minute, and then I stab out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when I go through 2/5 and that, I'm like, damn, this shit the energy is different,
bro.
man.
Like, I'll drive through, I'll be like, because you want to ride through and you want to see people, you want to see the sights, you want to show off, you want the people to see you. I don't even get that feeling no more, bro.
Nah, it's different. It's not the same.
All the stores that I used to go to, gone, man. Like my fitted spots, the white tees, the clothing spots and all that. I'm like, damn, man. All the cats that was on the streets with the CDs and all that on the floor.
Niggas don't understand how dope.
I'm talking about that era,
that
bro.
That era was, man. That era was dope, man. Like the CDs, even though they was like selling bootlegs, mixtapes and shit like that.
They don't even matter.
They don't matter though. It had everything. The mom and pop record store, they used to be there before it burnt up and all that.
Because I was in VA for a while, but I was back and forth, right? So when I come up in the summertime, I gotta hit 125, get some clothes and some CDs and the DVDs to take back down
everything,
there. I'm putting these niggas on a lot of shit up here, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whoa,
I remember when I used to be out, I used to go out of town, I used to be in New Haven. With my man TJ, shout out to TJ, shout out to everybody in New Haven. We was going, we was, moving around, whatever.
Yeah.
And niggas would have the mixtapes. They, Fool, Bud, we get back on the road and we was back to CT and all that to do,
Yeah.
And that was the energy. We had to go to 250, go grab this and see what's popping, or seeing what mixtape is out and what they doing, who's doing what. That was how we sharpened our pen anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was trying to see where you fell at on the mixtape, where your name was at on the list.
Right.
That was important to us. You know what I'm saying? That was important to me. Like if I ain't in that top 10. I gotta go back to the lab. Like I gotta be in that top 10. Like, cause the top 10 gonna be the Jay-Z's and Nas's and the Locks.
Yep.
And you knew that was like that ground right there was
that was prime time real estate on the mixtape.
Prime time real estate on the mixtape because niggas is gonna keep playing that top 10, top 15. You might be at 20, but if you at 20, you gotta strive for more. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like I was always competitive. And I felt like I had to strive for more, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna let, these other niggas like outshine me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was, but yeah, man, the energy is different, man. Like, but it's still Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is still doing they do, niggas is still getting to the money.
Yeah.
Niggas is still getting fresh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think that's ever gonna stop, man. What's that?
Nah.
What is that? What is it about that Harlem atmosphere, man? Y'all got that? Because I know it came from like the hustlers in the 70s, the 60s. You know what I'm saying?
It's just the hustler spirit, man. It's like
carried down.
It's the spirit, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure like the Riches, Fritzes and all those niggas back in their day.
LA,
Doo-Wop, they had their niggas they looked up to.
Right.
That inspired them fashionable. And then they was that for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we see Rich in the Sergio Tashini suit or something like that, or some Nautica.
Yeah.
That was us, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's what we wanted to do, you know what I mean? Like I know that was how it was for me.
Right.
Like I based all my fashionable decisions on the hustlers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or what I saw the dope boys do, you know what I'm saying? So
you're from the west side of Harlem, right?
Yeah.
Talk about your neighborhood. What was your upbringing like?
Yeah, I'm from the west 133rd. Amsterdam, you know what I'm saying, Manhattanville Projects.
Okay.
Born and raised. My upbringing was, it was dope, man.
You had both your parents, right?
I had both my parents, yeah. Both of my parents in the same home.
That's good.
Yeah, you know what I'm
that's
saying. A lot of niggas don't really have that.
Listen, man, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
you
that's
had
a blessing. It was definitely my mom. I'm one of five. My mother had 5 kids.
You the oldest?
I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So I got an older brother and an older sister. My older sister passed away.
Oh, God bless.
You know what I'm saying? God bless her. And 2 little sisters. But my pops and my uncle were always on me, like to make sure that, you know, I'm in the house with a lot of girls. They were always on me, like, go get outside, go be with your friends, go, you know what I mean? Like, that was the era, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was about letting your boys be boys,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I would be outside with my friends and shit. We would be, you know, play ball. We as we started getting older, we started getting into the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gravitate
dice
to that
games.
other
We
side
started
of
gravitating to everything we saw the dope boys do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's how it was. Like, you know, for us, we kind of like the dope boys were celebrities to us. You know what I'm saying? So we mimicked everything they did. You know what I mean? So like. My man TD, God bless his soul, man. God bless the general, man. He passed away.
Yeah.
My man TD, nigga had the sky blue MPV, and I used to always say, when I get my money right, I'm getting me an MPV. I'm still looking for an MPV.
Did he have rims on it?
Yeah, he had the rims on it.
I've never seen a sky blue MPV.
Yeah, it was like a
seen
sky
like a
blue
burgundy
joint.
or black.
Yeah, a lot of niggas had the burgundy joint, the black joint, and the tan joint.
Okay.
TD had the blue joint. It was like a sky blue. Shit was mean. Shit was mean.
If they bring that back, they gotta really flip that joint though.
That nigga Ray
That
Quan got a
like
white
electric.
one.
A throwback one?
Throwback joint.
He
restored it. Yeah,
that's ill.
I seen that shit on Instagram. I was like, yeah, that's ill. that's the old school I want. Either the MPV or the Act Legend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I just told this to Austin the other day because we was just chopping it up after we shot his episode. We was just in the studio, he let me hear some music. It was something, he said he wanted like the Montero back in the day. I was like, oh, okay.
Montero G was fire.
Yeah, I said, yo, I still want that Acura Legend, yo.
Yeah, Montero G was fire. You ain't really see a lot of Monteros in Harlem though. You might have seen them uptown though. But
what was that? It was some, I know they had some cars in Harlem though. What was that car that was in Harlem? Was it the Saab and all that?
The Saab. The Saab, you know,
let's not go too far back there. Let's go 90s. And
90s?
What was ill in the
90s was the Act Legend.
Yeah.
The 2-door joint.
What about the Lexus though?
The Lexus.
Lex Coupes?
The Lexus Coupe. The GS joint.
The GS was heavy.
The GS was heavy, man. The GS,
heavy GS joint.
Yeah, the GS was heavy.
Pathfinders and all that?
Pathfinders was hard. Yeah, Pathfinders was hard. Pathfinders was hard. Pathfinders,
Benzes, BMWs, heavy.
Oh, you know, those are the normals, the Benzes and BMWs. Like, that was like the statement cars, you know what I'm saying? I remember my first BMW I bought was 1998 or 99, I think it was, 5 Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had bought a 5 Series.
You got that with your first rap check or just off the streets?
Nah, I was in the street.
Got you.
Yeah. I never bought a car from a rap check, to be honest with you. Nah. I was going to get the Lincoln Navigator from a rap check and then order a Lexus GS, but my manager at the time was like, yo, just hold out. Like, I'm gonna come get you and take you everywhere anyway, so you ain't really got it. But me and my homeboys, me and my man Pony, we used to do cabs all the time, like the Harlem cabs. We used to call 52, 52, and take the Harlem cabs everywhere throughout the street. So we was just moving around like that. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like my first, when I was getting my, you know, hands on some money or whatever, I bought the 5 Series because I saw the picture of Rich Porter in front of his, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get that shit.
How much was it at that time when you got yours?
Oh, my shit was like, it was like 16,000.
That's not bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was, at that time, it was like it was either do that or go buy something brand new. But I knew what I wanted, and I wanted that. And the shit was silver, and it had like lavender purple interior with the lavender.
Real?
Yeah, the shit was.
Wait a minute.
It was different, yo.
Wait, where did you get this joint from? From a dealer or somebody that was?
Nah, I bought this shit from a dealer.
For real? Damn. And it came like that?
Yeah, it came like that. That's why I got it. I was up there just looking for.
I know you was killing the streets with that joint.
Killing them. I was moving crazy though, man. Like, I was driving everywhere and that shit. Like, I remember, like, went to the dealership. The dealership used to be by the old Golden Lady, like the old strip club. It used to be up there in the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Sin now or whatever, but whatever. It was a little dealership right there, used car dealership, and they had that shit outside. And I was just like, yo, how much I want for this? And he wanted like 20 or whatever, and I was just like,
talked him down.
I was like, yo, I said, yo, my man was with me because he's thinking about buying a Beamer too. So my man Malik, and I was like, yo, I got 15 right now, whatever, right? And he's like,
they don't let that cash walk away.
He's like, you got 15 cash? I said, I got 15 right now. He's like, can you get another G, get 16? I said, you know what, I'll give you 16 just because. You give me this joint right now.
Yeah.
He walked off the lot with that joint. Yeah, man, like.
What club was popping at that time when you had that whip? Because I know you had to be riding through spots and all that, man.
I'm trying to think, man. Shit was still popping, like Club Speed and shit like that was still rocking.
You used to go through the tunnel?
I've been to the tunnel.
I've been in the tunnel one time. That shit was crazy.
I've been to the tunnel twice. I've been there with Roc-A-Fella and them niggas. I was running around with them.
When they performed that time?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
shit,
there.
bro.
I was there. I was on the stage. I was on the back, like, behind the stage, but I was
now
there.
I gotta go back to that video and watch that again.
I mean, the funny shit is I went back to the video just to see if I could catch me, but it's so grainy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was there. The first time I went to the tunnel was that performance, and I remember that shit.
Wow.
Because that was like and the funny thing is, like, another story is that night I found out that Nas and Bleak when them was beefing. That's when I found that shit out.
Really?
At the tunnel.
Oh, shit.
I remember I was in the tunnel. I hate to say this, man.
Yeah.
But Bleak, my homeboy, man. That nigga.
Shout out to Bleak.
Shout out to Bleak, man. That nigga did a lot of good for me, man. He's a good dude. He's solid, man. He was talking amongst his niggas or whatever, and we was just all sitting in the back, behind the shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, yeah, the nigga Nas, and I'm like, this nigga beefing with Nas?
And this is before the music came out and all the disses,
before the actual
right?
music came out. So I don't know what their issue was, but he was like, yo, I'm about to get at that nigga, whatever. Niggas is like, you don't want it with Nas, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, watch me. He was determined. And I ain't knocking. He was shooting for the head, pause. Facts. He was definitely not playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I found that out that night. I remember getting back to the block like, yo, B, niggas is beefing with Nas. Mm-hmm. He's like, niggas is like, get the fuck out of here. Niggas ain't beefing with Nas. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking that Jaylen niggas is beefing. Niggas on the block was like, yeah, all right, whatever. So when that shit came out, niggas was like, yo, like, damn. I was like, I told you.
Yo, you still got relationships with Bleak now, or you haven't talked in a while?
I haven't talked in a while, man. I mean, I assume we do. I assume that we cool. Right. I mean,
just a lot of time passed.
A lot of time passed. A lot of niggas, a lot of relationships that I had then, that was through that camp, through that circle. I don't know what to say now. I don't know if niggas really fuck with me, like that. I thought that niggas wasn't really fucking with me behind the G shit.
Okay.
But Bleak was one of the true niggas like that continued to fuck with a nigga. I remember seeing his big brother one day in the train station, and he dapped me up and all that. But Bleak always showed me love, man. He took me on tour with him.
How was that?
Let me open up for him.
Yeah, how was that?
Nah, that was real.
Though?
That was like.
Because that's your first time going over
first
the road,
time
right?
ever. Like, that was the first time I ever been on a road. Like, I'm leaving my 4-block radius. Mm-hmm. That was like the first time. Like, it was dope, man. Like, I got the chance to like pick his brain and just observe and soak everything up. Like, I remember that nigga, one time we was in the studio, we was working on a joint for my shit, and Bleak was like, yo, well, y'all be getting, I always hear about, Branson and all that. I'm like, you want some Branson? I get you some Branson right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that good Branson.
He's like, word. And at the time, he's like, yo, you want to drive my whip? I'm like, yeah, whatever. So me and G to K had took Bleak's truck uptown. I took them niggas to Branson. Yeah, took them niggas to Branson and go cop some bud for the nigga and this and that. He was happy. He was like, yo, he fucked with me. But he always showed me love, you know what I'm saying? He jumped on like 2 records of mine. Mm-hmm. And I took, in return, when I went on my little tour, I brought G to K with me, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Shout out to Gita.
Right.
That's my nigga. We was bugging out. We was having so much fun, B. Yeah. Like, we was the young niggas on the tour. We running wild. We fucking with the bitches. We running through the crowd. We doing shit that niggas ain't really supposed to be doing. Like, but we was doing that shit because we was the young niggas, like, you know what I'm saying?
When you went on that tour, did it, like, help you? How was your stage presence, though, before that? Did you build that up? Or was it because you was doing it in the streets?
I always was working on my stage presence. I used to practice in the mirror.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All the time. Like, I come from a hip hop household, so you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
So
we're gonna circle back
I
to
was
that.
already being groomed and
right?
trained.
Okay.
Like, this is how you do it. This is how you should rehearse. You should always rehearse, to be ready for shows, because you got to be able to rhyme on any beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes when you performing, you got to be able to. Sometimes the record might skip. The stage is moving.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I was always told, like, be prepared. That's why you got to master your verse to a point where you can catch it if the beat skips, or if they decide to play it and the record is playing too fast. You got to be able to catch all that.
Yeah.
So I was already being groomed and trained on this hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? And I took it serious. I practiced a lot, man.
Okay.
There was a lot of days I spent in my grandmother's apartment in the projects, and I was just right. And I would get in the mirror, because my grandmother's living room, she had a wall full of mirrors.
Okay.
So
I remember those days. Yeah. I had that in my apartment one time in the Bronx.
So,
one wall, just all mirrors.
All mirrors,
lined together.
So she had the wall full of mirrors, and I used to play my songs or whatever, and I used to be in the mirror rapping, so I can see how I wanted to look.
Right.
How I wanted the people to see me look.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, that was a jewel my uncle gave me. He was like, my uncles were always performing. They was always on the road, and they would always give me jewels on how to do this.
Some legends in the game. One is from the Treacherous 3, and one from the
Fearless 4.
Fearless 4, Mikey C.
Mike C, the mighty Mike C.
Are they from
LA
your mom's
Sunshine.
side or your dad's side?
That's my mom's side.
Okay.
So Mike C is my blood uncle,
Gotcha.
right? So that's my mother's brother. But LA Sunshine was pretty much my mother's brother too, because he was raised in the same household. So him and my uncle were best friends.
Gotcha.
Since, junior high school or whatever, but he lived in my grandmother's house. So it was like he called my grandmother Ma, just like my uncle did. So he was as far as I can remember, that's my uncle. That's who I knew as my uncle. So so between my uncle Mike C and my uncle LA Sunshine, I got to see it from all those different, perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and not to cut you, you also in Kumo D's video.
Yeah.
I had to go back to that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
You was getting the money from the dude in the car?
Yep.
I was like, oh, that is crazy.
And
so you was already, like you just said,
and art was imitating the life too. It was like, because it was easy to do that, because I knew kids who were really doing that already.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the era. That's the era we come from.
Yeah.
It's that era where the little young boys were taking packs from the older niggas and bringing it across the streets, and like I've seen that before. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, do this. I was like, all right, I've seen this like in real time. You know what I'm saying? So
they paid you too,
they
right?
They paid me. Yeah.
That was like
that's my
your
first rap check
for real, right?
First rap money, and the cool story about that shit is that same night we were shooting that video, Rakim was in the next studio shooting Let the Rhythm Hit Him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yo. I met Rakim too.
Word?
Blew my world, man, because that was my favorite rapper always.
Me too. Video music box?
All my uncles used to play was Rakim. They loved Rakim.
Some Rakim.
If they wasn't Kumo D, it was Rakim, it was G-Rap, but they played a lot of Rakim in the house. Like my Uncle Ellie used to play Rakim all the time. So I used to be like, yo, B, his voice, sonically, his cadence,
his aura was
fire. It wasn't like, he didn't look like he got hyped, and he didn't look like he was born. It was like he was in a certain pocket that was perfect.
It was like calm demeanor, but you ain't fucking with that nigga.
And that was the demeanor that you wanted to replicate and imitate, because if you was too loud, you was a clown.
Yeah.
And if you was too quiet, you was scared. You was, so you wanted to have a certain demeanor where it was mystique. It was the Rakim's mystique that attracted me as a young boy. Like, yo, you know what? That's the type of MC I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It was the mystique.
Going back to the name, Bathgate. It was Billy Bathgate, but that was during the Wu Gambino.
Yeah, yo.
That Wu Gambino.
That's
the cats had the aliases, right?
That's what we did. So me and my boys, my man Dills, my man Grams, my man Pony, we was the little niggas running around. That was, we was always trying to impress the older niggas and doing, grown up shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I remember TD and them niggas, they was the niggas that was doing their thing. So my man TD, they used to go out of town, whatever, and when they come back in town, they used to come back in town with, with new Avrexes and cars. They was fresh. They was getting money, whatever, right? I remember when the first day TD had the Purple Tape on CD, and they was playing it in the boombox when we was in the park on the benches, and niggas was playing that shit. And I remember like just listening to that shit like, and hearing these niggas create their AKAs.
The way they talking in that slang.
And the way they was talking and just the way they was doing it. We was like, so me and my boys, we was like, yo, I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So my man Pony was Pony because he was Capone.
Okay.
My man Grams was Bugsy Grams. You know what I'm saying? And I was Billy Bathgate. So it was like, I'm gonna run with that. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of stuck. It's funny, my man Dave, I got killed, he was from the Bronx. Mm-hmm. He also was like one of those that was like, yo, you should use the name Billy Bathgate, because we was all like clicked up like that. And even though he wasn't in my projects, he would come around and he was, we went to school together.
Okay.
So he was just like, yeah, that'd be you, because he was like, he saw the movie and he was like, yeah, he's the young nigga that worked for Dutch, and he was the young gangster. You got the baby face, you the young nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask that too.
So
like, what
happened.
about Bathgate that made you want to take that? Because we all had our favorite gangsters. Mine, I would say Lucky Luciano.
Lucky Luciano was
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So I didn't know nothing. I didn't know much about him. It just stuck. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because like my first rap name didn't work. You know what I'm saying? For me, like it
what
was
like.
that?
I gotta hear this one.
So
we all had crazy first rap names until we came to that one that.
So like speaking of old groups like Wu-Tang and niggas like that, it was like Mobb Deep influence, right? Because they was like the young niggas, like the youngsters, all these young groups was coming up in that time.
Philly.
And we was moving around imitating. So life and art was imitating each other, right? You know what I'm saying? So we was out there wilding out, and we was like, what was the name of our crew, man? The Headhunters or something like that, pause. We was just like out when we was in the wilding era, when niggas was outside wilding, you know what I'm saying? And when that was a term, you know what I'm saying? So my name was Warpath. And that was my rap name, and I was like trying to be all aggressive.
That's not a bad name though.
Man, it wasn't really hitting then. It was hitting for me then when I was writing my rhymes. I write Warpath at the top, and then I dropped it because it just didn't ring off to me enough.
Got you.
And I knew I was doing it because of these niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then I was like, I need something that was more catchy and it was smooth. And after I heard the nigga, Raekwon talk about Lou Diamonds and these niggas is this and that, I was just like, and my man said Billy Bathgate, I was like, I like that, Billy Bathgate. Like that shit had like a ring. It was, a first and last name, so it was like, all right, cool, I'ma rock with it. And then when I got my deal, because of the movie, I had to drop Billy off it.
Okay.
But when I was rapping and battling niggas and running around doing ciphers, it was always Billy Bathgate.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Sometimes I might still throw Bill in there when I'm rapping, but I had to drop it because of the movie and shit, because I ain't own the rights to that name, so it was just Bathgate from there.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I always thought you was from the Bronx because of the name Bathgate, because there's a street in the Bronx called Bathgate.
Did, yo.
So I always thought you was from the Bronx for some reason. I just ain't never catch on to the Harlem thing and all that, but
everybody did. I didn't even know there was a street in the Bronx. I'm telling you, like,
yeah, bro. I was like, oh
like,
shit.
When I was young, my idea of the Bronx was over 145th Street Bridge and at 3rd Avenue and everything like that. I didn't even know nothing up further than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, if we couldn't just get to it, the furthest I've been in the Bronx was probably Allerton Avenue at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, is it Bathgate Avenue? I ain't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I was like, all right, everybody's saying, yo, you from the Bronx? I'm like, nah, I'm from Harlem.
Yeah.
Yo,
we had your rhyme partner up here, Fats, man. Shout out to my bro Fats.
That's my big bro.
Some crazy Harlem history and all that. Just talk about y'all friendship. How did y'all come together? Like, cause y'all from the same building and all that?
From the same building. Mm-hmm. We all from the same building, same projects. Our families know each other, you know what I'm saying? Our grandmothers knew each other coming up. They used to play cards together. Yeah. I've heard stories all about, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, oh, that's Fat Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother would be like, oh, you running around with Fat Man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But Fats was always like, that's big bro, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Fats was one of those dudes, you know what I'm saying? He was one of those dudes, and he was one of those dudes who didn't play with, and you don't play with at all.
Yeah.
And we used to always, that was one of the niggas that we wanted to make sure that we had his respect, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like, especially, like, you know, coming up, because he was one of those dudes, you know? He was like the Joe Pesci of the crew, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he gonna laugh when he see this,
I like that one.
But that's real, like, Fats was one of those dudes. Like, he's still one of those dudes, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was always little bro to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, before that, it was a term. That was his, you know what I mean, his little bro. I remember, like, I was just talking to him, like, not too long ago about, one time, it was a kid on my block that, I don't want to say his name, because I don't want his family to think I'm trying to disrespect him or nothing like that. But, we was playing ball on a milk crate on the fence. Okay. And I was killing him. He was talking shit. So I ended up pushing him or whatever. We got into a little scuffle or whatever. And I remember Fats like, yo, you a bully. Like, I'm like, me?
Yeah.
I'm not no fucking bully, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I remember the nigga Fats had, like, tested me. He's like, all right, I'll be back. Like, and I already knew his persona because, you know, growing up, I used to hear whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So I knew, like, he gonna come back, but he coming back to see me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know what to think, whatever. So he brought his cousin or whatever back to see me and whatever. And we got into a little, like, you know, verbal conflict or whatever. We ended up getting into a little tussle and throwing our hands or whatever. But, and so me and my man L.O., my man Rob, who just came home. Shout out to my man L.O. who just came home. We had got into a little scuffle with Fats and his cousin.
Yeah?
Yeah, like,
wow.
And, but you know what?
Yo, Fats, you wild, boy. What's wrong with you,
But you know what, though?
Joe Pesci for real.
Yeah, but you know what, though? The cool thing about it is that that was his way of testing you. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's his way of saying, like, yo, like,
make sure you valid, man.
Make sure you carry yourself a certain way, because if you carry yourself this way, it can come from any way. It can come from any corner. It can come from any block, any building, and you never know, you know what I'm saying, to be prepared for it, whatever. But we was always tight after that. It was like, you know what I'm saying, like, I knew it wasn't like he brought a nigga to me to hurt me or nothing like that. It was just like, you know, I'm gonna test your hand skills out. We're gonna test each other's hand skills out, whatever. I never forget that shit, because my grandfather came out, we was fighting in the hall. We was all fighting in the hallway in front of my door.
Wow.
And my grandfather came out, and my grandfather had a bad heart. And he was like mad, like, or whatever. And I remember, like, going in the house, getting a butcher knife. Now I'm gonna kill one of you niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I love that nigga Fats, man. Fats one of the niggas that's my big bro. I mean, that's one of them niggas that, like, he was instrumental in saving my life and making sure I stayed on the right path too. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside.
Yeah, go ahead.
Outside of the world, he wanted to make. He started hearing about my talent as far as music, and, you know, like, Fats was always like, he wore many hats. You know, he can write songs for people. He can be, you know, he can be that person. He can be the nice guy. He can be the bad guy. Right. If needed. You know what I'm saying? So he was one of them niggas that was like, yo, B, like, I remember when niggas was first, you know, starting to do whatever they was doing, and I was like, yeah, I want to go. He was like, nah, B, because if you get locked up, how am I going to explain that to your uncle?
No doubt.
And I was like, man, niggas ain't, you know, I need money. I'm seeing everything going on. He was just like, nah, whatever. I ended up doing what I was going to do anyway. Right. But he wanted to make sure that nothing happened to me. Right. And I respected that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he saved me, because that night, niggas had gotten into a little situation where niggas had got shot up. Like, niggas had got shot, whatever, got into a real situation. But I don't want to say too much because or whatever, but niggas got active, you know what I'm saying? And that situation was a wake-up call for me to say, you know what, just focus. Niggas is telling you something. Niggas is not trying to clown you. Niggas is telling you to stay focused, because you probably are a ticket out of here. We all can really be successful if you just focus up and not try to be what we doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So shout out to Fats for that. That was instrumental in doing that. And he was always taking me under the wing. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, because he was already on.
Then he started buzzing. He was buzzing first.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like had you know, the music shit going. He was on Ron G tapes and SNS, and he used to take me to SNS sessions. At the end of the session, we would get in there and record. That's what let us rock and roll.
Okay.
So I remember like recording my demo and just recording songs for a demo was with Fats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Once I got out of the
because y'all got a project together, right? Too,
yeah,
right?
Like I used to record my shit in my man E crib.
Okay.
In his apartment or whatever, and it was like, you know, 2-track and we just record or whatever. But Fats took me to like a real studio where niggas had the reels, like the big, like this is the era of your music was on a big ass reel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they went from the reels to the DATs. You know what I'm saying? And then DATs to the CDs and et cetera to MP3s, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? But Fats was he was schooling me on to all that shit. Him and my man Future, they was running around. They had a rap group. Yeah. Future from BBO. Yeah, shout out to my man Future, man.
I gotta get Future on here too.
Yeah, that's my boy.
That
you know
BBO history
shout out to
on
Future,
here.
Yeah. You know, those some more niggas that inspired me as well. You know, shout out to the whole BBO. I remember I was in junior high school when them niggas was buzzing.
Okay.
And I went to 195, and I remember hearing all their music. You know what I'm saying? BBO. You know what I'm saying? They joints, they anthems. And I used to be like, yo, I'm gonna get on, watch, I'm gonna get on, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to.
And there was some more crews in Harlem around that time too, right?
Yeah, man, like, BBO, Children of the Corn. There was a lot of crews.
Harlem World was after, right?
Harlem World was after. Yeah, that was something that Mace put together later. That was later.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like, it was all types of crews in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
From, because you've been in ciphers, like we just spoke about earlier, the path to getting your record deal with Virgin. Mm-hmm. How did they find you though, the guys that you was with?
Oh, I mean, I was outside at that time. At that time, I was outside. I was doing my, my 1-2, trying to make some money, and I was also doing music. I was, go to the studio with Fats or whatever, and I started getting a little buzz. Started getting into some ciphers. Started battling some cats across town or whatever. I started moving around, and I went to high school with my man Malik. And Malik and his man Jewels formed a group, Draft Picks.
Okay.
So this is how I met Jewels. So I met Jewels through my man Malik.
Okay.
We all got cool, and then we started clicking together, and then we started, doing music together, or just writing together. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember, being in the ciphers with Jewels, Malik, Uncasa, my man Bugsy from Uptown, D Gritty. You know what I'm saying? Before All Out, before Harlem World, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was all around each other, like, sparring, and that's when I was starting to get to know niggas. And they was from up the block. They was from 151st, 153rd in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from 33rd in Amsterdam, so it was just up the hill, like, you know what I'm saying? So I used to go up there and rock with them. And so their manager, John Gatto, or John Gotti, whoever you want to call him, he was managing them, and Malik told John about me, or Jewels told him about me. One of the two, one of them told him about me, whatever. And then he was like, let me meet him or whatever. They came through my block or whatever, and we met, and we talked, and he was just like, yo, I'm managing these niggas, you know what I'm saying? I want to manage you. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then they got a deal with like Penalty Records or some shit like that, or Priority Records.
Okay.
Shout out to my man Ray. And I used to go down to the Priority Records office with them, and I used to be like, all right, this shit is really real. Like this is a job. Niggas got a deal and all that.
Yeah.
And that's how me and the Gilly battle came.
Oh,
It was at Priority Records.
Did you have a demo then, or was you just you had to spit for them or something?
At that time, I was creating a demo, but I had already had stuff out there. Like I said, like me and Fats, I had recorded a song and dropped a song that Fats had leaked to like Ron G.
Okay.
Back then, before my demo started getting cut. Like, but I had already started. I had songs already. Like, I had 40 songs that I did in my man's E-Crib before anything. So I had demos, and I've had.
So how was you getting those out on the street? Because now it's internet, but back then it's like
you wasn't
trying to get
it was
on a
like
DJ
it was
mixtape, right?
The way
or if you press up your own joint and you out there in the streets.
So back then it was none of that. So it was like ride to a nigga hood and you letting the gangster niggas hear your shit. Like, yo, this is my man Bab, listen to this shit, and niggas is like, yo, that nigga's nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. Like, I don't want to be cliche and make it seem like, you know, I was raised by wolves, but I was, you know what I'm saying? I was around all that shit. So it was like, you know, so I was rhyming in front of niggas, and that was the big way of getting your name out. It was no, there was no put out a record yourself, nothing like that. I think Fats and Future had a record, they had a single out, but they also was like, they had a deal too, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So like, they had like a single deal or whatever. They had some sort of record deal. I don't remember, it was such a long time ago, but I didn't have that. So I remember Fats was like, yo, come on, we gonna do a show at the Music Hut. And shit's crazy. And I was like, yo, I'm like, all right. I knew the Music Hut because we all used to go there to buy mixtapes or whatever. Yeah. But I knew I wasn't on none of these mixtapes at this time. So I knew that nobody knew about me yet as far as that. I know niggas knew about me in the hood, whatever. And the Music Hut was in our hood anyway. It was right down the block in the projects. Mm-hmm. So we was like, all right, come on. Me and my man Grams, me, Fats, Grams, my man Mike Batters. We went down there to go perform or whatever. Mike Batters, I don't know if he came, might have got locked up or something, I don't know, but he wasn't there. I don't remember him being there after that. Yeah. And it was like a showcase the Music Hut was doing. Okay. And Fats was like, yo, we gonna go after it, you know, we gonna go after this nigga or whatever. And the nigga that went in front of us was Jay-Z.
Yo.
And I remember that is the one time and only time in my entire life of doing music where I was like, nah, we not ready yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Fats still performed, but I was like, Fats, nah, we not ready yet. Like, and I say that with respect because, respect for Fats' craft too, because he was already, you know, getting nice with his pen. Yeah. And salute to him to still go in there and perform, but me and my man Grams, I was just like, yo, bro, we not ready yet. Right. You can go, but I'm not going after that. Right. He performed 22 twos, and I never seen nobody rock the crowd that way. That wasn't like Kumo D or something like that. He rocked the crowd like it was like something like that. It was like you could feel the energy. It was like, it was before niggas heard Reasonable Doubt. This is like, too many niggas, you know what I'm saying? And niggas is like locked in, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yo, I ain't mad at you, bro.
I was like, and it wasn't about me being scared. It was me saying, I gotta go back and revamp. I gotta go back and reevaluate my shit and sharpen my pen. Yeah, and I went back. Out here. Yeah, I went back with a vengeance. And I was just like, now I got an example of what I'ma see. Right. And what's out there. And if you have to be able to be better than this. And it was like, that's what it was for me. That was like the one thing that really put the battery in my back to say, you gotta work harder. Right. You know what I'm saying? Was that. And I think that to Fats, because if it wasn't for Fats, I'd never see that. No doubt. I probably wouldn't see it at that time, and who knows, I've still been a nigga on the block telling niggas I rap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that really like sparked me, and it sparked my interest.
So did you want to get a record deal, or was hip hop just a fun thing for you to do?
Nah, I wanted to get a record deal. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I'm out of high school. I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I want to make money, and it's either at that point, I'm thinking about it like this. I'm looking at my options. My options was, you gonna get a job, and it was like, what you gonna do, work at a McDonald's? Right. You gonna get a pack from a nigga, and you gonna be the best hustler? Or you gonna get in the studio and be the next Jay-Z? Right. Next Nas, the next Cool G Rap, next Rakim. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And then I also had my uncles and their success and their obstacles too that I, loosely heard about to see like, all right, what is it that you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So now we talking like 9-7, 9-8, 9-9. By 9-9, I'm in the studio writing for Puff. Writing for, you know what I'm saying? Writing for niggas. And actually now I'm in those pockets now. You know what I'm saying? Now I got like, the streets is talking about me. Now, my management is taking me to meetings with Puff and Virgin Records, and then the deal came. Oh, okay. I had like a buzz, like a bidding war at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right. But I had to see that performance. I had to see the grind and see Fats and them do it in the studio, see S&S and them niggas put it together. See, and hear, because now my ears to the street, I'm hearing the mixtapes and I'm hearing Fats on the mixtape rhyme, and I'm like, that's fire. Like, niggas is talking about it. So, and that's all I wanted was that love from niggas to say, yo, this nigga's nice. You know what I'm saying? So seeing Fats grind, then seeing Jay-Z's performance, I knew, you know, what it was. Meeting Big L, I already knew what it was. I already knew what I wanted to do at that point. You know, we all come from the hood. We all do two things. We play ball or we sell drugs, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's, even though it may sound a little cliche or make believe, but it's not. It's actually accurate. You know how many rappers that play ball because they was striving to play ball at one time. That was their ticket out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they ended up rapping because it was either play ball or now you go left, now you in the street and you become a gangster, and you gotta conduct yourself as a gangster. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's no part-time in being a gangster, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to prepare to even conduct yourself to live that way, or you're gonna do it the right way, play ball and go to college and do this and this and that. And that was like playing a lottery too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It was easier for us to pick up a pack. Right. To work for a nigga and build yourself up, and now you, not only are you building yourself up, but you're getting the respect of the niggas that you honor as you know, the OGs or whatever. You're looking to them for that guidance, you know what I'm saying? You're looking to them for that validation. Yeah. And now it's easier to do that, even though it's dangerous, but it's easier. Right. You're protected most of the, you know what I'm saying? If your people's is real, you're in a safe space. You know what I mean? They tell you what not to do, how to avoid going to jail. You go to jail, what to do. Right. You know what I mean? You're groomed for that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's easy to go that way. It was easy for me to stray that way because most niggas in my situation, in that situation, didn't grow up in the same environment or same structure as I did. Right. So a lot of my friends did it out of survival.
Yeah, so you really didn't have to do it.
But I wanted to do it because I wanted to feel validated. Gotcha. I wanted to be in the same space as them because y'all my brothers, y'all my niggas. I want to be here with you. Yep. So I'm gonna do this with you because fuck it, you gonna be a gangster, I'm gonna be a gangster with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's what it was, like, you know what I mean? So like to be truthfully honest. Anybody else telling you different is lying.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They lying. Like, you know, I didn't seen it all.
How many labels gave you offers before you went to Virgin, decided to go to Virgin?
I had a few offers. I had offers. All right, so Nasheem Merrick and Harv Pierre from Bad Boy was starting a subsidiary under Bad Boy, or they was trying to start a production company. They was giving me an offer. Elektra was giving me an offer. Virgin offered me, and it was somebody else. It might have been Epic or Columbia. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it was like the buzz, that's what it was. And I think Elektra went with Fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, they went with Fabulous at that time. They had, you know, Fab. Yeah. And I didn't go to Columbia. I didn't go with the, you know, the Trackmasters way or whatever. I don't think I even performed for them. But I ended up going to Virgin because Virgin was offering money, more money, and creative control. Okay. And I was trusting in G and hip hop. Right. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I wanted to go like to Roc-A-Fella or Bad Boy.
I was going to ask that. Like, what label did you really want to go to?
I wanted to go to Roc-A-Fella or Bad Boy.
I can see that though. Yeah, I can see Roc-A-Fella.
You know what I'm saying? I got to see behind the scenes of Roc-A-Fella a little bit. I was in the office. I was around. Yeah. And I was just like, this is where I want to be. I would go to the office and I see the posters of Memphis Bleak and I'm like, this is where I want to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see myself in that person, that character. You know, I can relate to it. I could see myself in the Jay-Z or Memphis Bleak or the Rangers. I could see myself in those artists. Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then with Bad Boy, I already knew what time it was. It's Puff. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, it was that. And when I was working around Puff and writing for Puff and writing joints for his artists that he had this young group that he was trying to bring out. I got to see it from the inside. So I wanted to be either Roc-A-Fella or bad boy, to be honest with you.
Got you.
But it didn't work that way, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately.
Did you ever get a chance to just hang out at these labels and just pick the executive's brain and like learn the business?
Nah. You know, to be honest with you, at that time and space, it was like, I might have felt like I knew it all, or I knew enough. Mm-hmm. Rap, record, create, make money.
Right.
It was that simple to me.
Right.
I didn't think about the business aspect because I thought, I'm gonna make a hit record, I'm gonna be a big rapper, I'm gonna make this money, and that be that.
Right.
I wasn't thinking like a Jay-Z, I wasn't thinking like an owner.
Right.
Or Dame Dash, I wasn't thinking like business minded. And I don't feel like the people I was with wasn't grooming me to be that anyway.
I was gonna ask that too. Yeah.
And
they really didn't have your best interests.
Nah, they was gonna groom me into being what they needed and use me for what they was gonna use me for. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get into the groove of writing for other artists?
Oh, that was.
Did you pick that up from Fast? Because I know he was doing that for other artists as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I feel like it was a opportunity presented for me, and I was just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
What happened was G brought me to Daddy's House studio to rhyme for Puff one night, and I rhymed for Puff. Puff was like, yo, this nigga's nice, whatever. I want you to be here with us, like, you know, be a part of the fam. I'm like, all right, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, his I don't know if his assistant at the time, I forgot, I can't think of her name right now, but they had a young group of artists, like 2 young boys. They was like 11, 12 years old or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, we want you to write for them. So I was like, all right. And like, write what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, just write the shit that you would say.
Right.
We're gonna get them to say it.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna just clean it up a little bit so it's relatable to their generation. So I started like that, and then that happened. He paid me some money to write a few songs for them, and then he started paying me money to write verses for him, and then that's where I started experiencing what it's like to write for an artist, like an artist.
How do you get into that space to write for another artist? Like,
it's the most complicated.
That's why.
It's complicated.
So when people come to you like, I need something for this artist right here, what do? You do your homework on that artist?
Yeah.
You figure out they sound.
Well, every artist is different.
Uh-huh.
So like when it came to Puff, I kind of had a blueprint or what I already heard you already do, or what you already talked about, or what your success. So I have like a template. So when I was writing for him, I was just talking mega rich shit because this is what the template is.
Yeah.
And what Puff, and I heard, it's funny because I heard kids say this, and I was telling my niggas all the time, this is so accurate. He never wanted me to rap his life. He wanted to be me. He wanted me to rap my life and let him say it.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way. That's the way it was. Like you would. So you gotta think about it. Like if you think about the verse that Puff is saying on Benjamin's, that's Jada Kiss mine. That's Kiss's verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't super big rich shit. It was hustler shit.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what he would tell me. And he actually said that to me. He said, "Yo, listen, don't write for me. You can't keep saying you don't gotta keep talking about Bentleys and this and that. Let's talk about what you live. I want to be you for a second."
Okay.
I'm like, and I couldn't understand that because it's like, why would you want to be me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You want that real shit. You want to be tapped.
But he want to be tapped into the street.
Yep.
And that's why, you know, his rhymes that he would take from Big or like other artists like Loon or Mark Curry, and he had a army of niggas that he would take from.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, how many other writers was there at the time you was writing for him too?
My nigga, a lot of us. It was
crazy.
a whole boiling pot of artists. You know,
Damn.
it was a whole boiling pot. It was really like you didn't even know, like, we could have been all working on the same song and not even know it. And like, the shit that was crazy with Puff is like, Puff would have me, like, every time I present him a song, I would write it over 3-4 times because it was never, I remember working on one song or 2 songs where I changed the first verse or second verse 3 times. It was like, I had 6 verses for a song.
Damn.
Just for him to use 12 bars and then 12 bars of Loom shit or 12 bars of Mark Kirby shit. Like, he's done shit like that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the, he's a scientist.
That's crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he, I know.
Are you creating these songs in the studio on the spot or?
On the spot.
Damn.
On the spot. Sometimes I would take it home, but most of the time it was in the studio on the spot. It's just like, I'm go in there, go in this room, work on these joints for me. And
So not only Puff, you also wrote for Mill, Trina.
Yep.
How was it writing for a female artist?
Same thing. I took what I learned from Puff and applied it to them. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give them me and just reverse the sex. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me talking about fucking with some bitches, I can talk about them getting tricked on by some niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm doing.
Right.
Is rerouting certain shit. It's just adding in lyrics and it's just giving them what I would give, So the song I did with Trina, I had wrote the whole song and I wrote my verse, I wrote her verse knowing like, all right, this is gonna be her part. You know what I'm saying? So all the shit that I knew that women was into, get money, because she was a get money bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got the nigga hustlers and you got the women hustlers. Yeah. And she was a part of that fabric.
Right.
So it was like, all right, I can just talk get money shit, but just do it as a female. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like nothing I didn't know or I wasn't around. It was like other female hustlers that I knew or been around, you know what I'm saying, that was getting money and just talking about fashionable shit and shit they like to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was getting money and getting money from the hustling niggas. So it was like, this was easy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then with a mill was more like,
what's that song? It's the one with Hub, Beans, Memphis Bleek, and Jay-Z on it?
I wish. Nah, it was a record called That's Right. So That's Right was supposed to be from my project, I think it was. I think it was one of those beats where Just Blaze did, and I wanted it for my project, and then it was like, nah, we're gonna do it for a mill.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, all right, cool. Like I had like a verse to it already, or something like that. No, matter of fact, no, it's a different song. This beat was gave to me by Just Blaze, like, yo, this is for a mill record, and a mill was gonna, do this record. She wants you to work on it for her. And I'm like, all right, bet. And I took it home, wrote it, brought it back, and she was like, I love it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, word, like, let's do it. And it was just me and her. And then what happened was Dame Dash heard it and was like, yo, we want this to be one of her singles. So I was geeked, I was gassed, I was happy. But he was like, I don't know if it was his idea to take me off or Jay-Z's idea to take me off. But it was supposed to be me, Emil, and Jay-Z. And then it became, that
would have been a classic.
It would have been dope. But then it became like, nah, it's gonna just be Emil and Jay because the focus needs to be on Emil.
Right.
And this is Jay, she's Roc-A-Fella, just as Jay's company, and I wasn't signed to Roc-A-Fella. So it was like,
man.
Yeah, I understood the business, but they was like, we're gonna give you your publishing, and we're gonna so you gotta get your writer's credit and everything.
Okay.
You just lost the feature. That's all it was. And for me, it was about the feature. But when I heard the record, I knew Emil didn't change her raps. And when I heard the hook come in, and I was like, this is the nigga who really sparked my interest to really go back to work harder.
Right.
And now he's saying my hook.
Yo, that's an ill 360,
and that was the illest 360, B. And I was just like,
did you ever run into Jay, like ever get a chance to like sit down and talk with him for like a few minutes?
A few seconds.
He a busy guy. You ain't got much time to be chopping. You got like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think I've been on the elevator with Jay a couple times, just me and him on the elevator. And I'd be like, yo, what up, Jay? And he'd be like, what's up? And he'd give me a pound or whatever. And then he already met me through G. We didn't talk much, like it wasn't much dialogue, but but it was like passing by stuff, and he didn't make me feel like I wasn't welcome or nothing like that. Like he definitely showed me love. I got to hear shit before the other niggas.
Right.
I got to be backstage. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I remember being backstage, like I said, at the Tunnel, those that performance. I remember being in the studio or at the Villa hearing Blueprint for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember hearing all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, he never like, and this is like him playing it for all his niggas, like, and we all in there chilling together, playing dice and just listening to Blueprint. And I remember hearing Takeover for the first time, and it was like,
come on, bro.
Shit.
You in a position where fans wish they could be in.
Yo,
like,
talk
just to sit there in that room, just to like
talk
just
about
to be in a room with
like
these people is like
a fly on a wall, but you in there in real time, real space. Yep. You dapping with niggas, you drinking with niggas, you smoking with niggas, you in a space, and you absorbing everything.
Yep.
And I always admired Jay-Z's technique and his skill set and how he wrote songs. And it
so
was
you kind of picked up some of that and implement that some in your
added to
your
your
craft
pick it
a
up.
little bit?
I just felt like I liked it from afar, and I liked it, and I was like, yo, I gotta put more thought into all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as like picking up the sound, it was hard not to, because we work with the same producer. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like
Just Blaze.
Yeah, so Kanye. I was working with Just Blaze and Kanye. Briefly Kanye, more Just Blaze.
Okay.
Before Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye was shopping his beats when he started working with Jay. He was shopping his beats, and hip hop was his manager. So hip hop was the manager or whatever, right? Okay. And then hip hop and G, I was signed to them, so I was in their mix. I remember G used to get me and Kanye together, and we go to the studio, and I was like, this is like backpack Kanye. This is like humble. I just moved to New York. Kanye.
So you know what I'm saying? You working with everybody.
Right. So I remember me and Kanye used to have like ciphers. He's so rich, he probably wouldn't remember this shit.
I know. Hell yeah.
He's so far removed from that space. He's in a different. But I remember me and my man Dills was talking about this not too long ago, of me and him being around Kanye, and was like, yo, that Kanye is totally different. That's fact. But it's also an evolution. Yeah. He becomes the artist that he's striving to be, and he's putting in that work, and he's a scientist. He's a mad scientist himself. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's more than just sampling a sample beat or chopping it up. He's a real perfectionist and a real scientist, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I got to soak all that up and be around it and not feel like an outsider. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Bleak showed me love, Beans and his niggas, Freeway, all them niggas I felt like I was a part of the Roc without being a part of the Roc.
I could see you more over there, like, because they had a nice gumbo of artists over there, man. Yeah. So, just to spin back to your Virgin deal, the records that you was recording for the album, did Just Blaze produce most of that, or who?
Just Blaze produced most of it. I had some beats from Kanye that I probably was too late to like be on the album. Some beats end up going to Jay and them or whatever. So, but I had them first. Like I had Guess Who's Back first.
You didn't get the record.
I didn't get a chance to record it, but I had a song to it. I had a verse to it. I ended up doing a verse. So after that song dropped, I did a freestyle to it because I had the original beat. You know what I'm saying? I just put it out as a freestyle. Yeah. But I had a verse for it already. Like me and my man TJ, we had did freestyle to it. But my verse was originally for a song for that same beat. You know what I'm saying? I had what was that? The DMX joint that he did for DMX, The Dog's Out. I had that song first, that beat first. I got a whole 10 songs all produced by Kanye that I just unreleased, nobody's never heard. That I'm planning on like maybe putting out, maybe like on my site.
You gotta put that out, bro.
Yeah.
So the songs that you recorded when you was signed to Virgin, what happened to all those records? Then that project, what happened to that project?
So a lot of those songs was recorded at Just Blaze Studio, and we worked with some producers that Missy was working with. I did like 4 or 5 with them or something like that. But most of the album was done at Just Blaze Studio, and it was done under Just Blaze beats. I would say Just Blaze has a lot of stuff that we never used in the cut. Okay. You know, Just Blaze is my guy though. You know, we still speak.
Okay, that's good.
That's my dude.
Yeah.
But he would, I don't know if he still had that stuff, but a lot of those records was done at his crib. You know what I'm saying? We built a studio in his apartment. You know, and we would just record in there, and then we would take the sessions and go to the studio and mix them and do it like that. But and then I worked with Missy's producers out in Virginia. I hate that I can't remember their name right now, but you got to forgive me. I was 21, 22 years old.
That was like in Virginia Beach and all that, right?
Yeah, out there. So I remember going out there with them, working with them, and we put together a dope project. You know what I'm saying? I was happy with it. It wasn't complete because I didn't get a chance to get to the finish line and release it.
Right.
But I mean, I was happy with it. It got 3 mics in the sauce. And that was not, good? That was good. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you know, I'm getting there. You know what I mean? Right. But, you know, things happen, man.
Yeah, life.
And life happens, and some obstacles are not necessarily obstacles, they are blessings, you just don't know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
What would you tell yourself, if you could sing a kite back to yourself when you was getting into the game, what would you tell yourself, or what to look out for? What's that message you would send to yourself, like, yo, watch out for this, do this, do ooh, ooh, ooh.
Get your own manager. Find you a manager that's outside of the mix. I hate to say that because I know I don't want to, man, fuck it. Get your own manager.
Yeah.
Get your own manager, get your own lawyer, get your own, cover yourself in your business.
Right.
Because it was a lot of that grooming shit. It was a lot of that, you my little man, I got you, I'm gonna take care of you. And like I always tell niggas all the time, I say, yo, like, I've had niggas be more straight with me, more solid with me in the streets than in the music business. Right. I've never been robbed by a nigga in the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have been, nah, I'm lying. Nigga did sell me some bullshit one time, but not like physically like set me up and rob me and take something from me or just do me wrong. Anybody that I came up under or had to, you know, or worked for in the street was solid with me.
Right.
But the niggas I worked with, I came up under in the music business weren't necessarily solid with me. You know what I'm saying? Or at least they wasn't, you know, communicating with me to let me know what was going on. It was a lot of like, you know, I'm gonna tell you to go left, but I'm really going right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was a lot of that I learned. I learned that later. But if I could speak to myself, I would just tell myself to do this differently. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you got to protect yourself and know the business. And like Jay said, you can bullshit with rap if you want. You better go out and get some other hustles and position yourself to be something more than just a rapper.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I think I would, you know, change the course and trajectory of my life.
Yeah, nah, because you was there, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And before we get out of here, future Bathgate.
Yeah.
You're married, got children.
Yeah,
how's the family life treating you?
Oh, family life is good, man. I got two sons, 15 and 5.
God bless them.
My wife.
Shout out to the queen. Yeah.
Shout out to
Queen
the queen.
Bathgate.
Queen Bathgate. You know, we got 8 years, about to be 8 years
That's
married.
Good. That's good.
We've been together for like 16, 17 joints.
I'm familiar.
Like
Same
when I met her and I was like, this is like after the record deal.
Okay. Things
went left. I'm back in the street. I'm hustling. And I remember being in the crib, bagging up or whatever, and she was sitting in there with me, and she was like, how long you gonna do this? And I was just like, I don't know.
That's real.
Until I could get, you know what I'm saying, I get to a position to where I could be that nigga. And she was like, like, you know, how long you going, I mean, you striving to be, you know, And I was just like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Go back to music? Go get a job? I didn't, I didn't have that ambition to do that at that time because I was also mad at the world. I was also like hurt. I had to keep facing that demon. I had to keep coming outside and people seeing me not be the person that they saw on BET.
Right.
And you become accustomed to that illusion.
Yeah.
And now you want everybody to still see you a certain way.
Yeah, exactly.
And that illusion wasn't there anymore. So I had to pivot and figure it out. And at the time I was in the street and I was just like, fuck this, I'm just getting money. My circle was doing this, I'm gonna do this, we're gonna get money. And she was like, how long you gonna do this? And I was like, I don't know. And then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna get a job. I said, fuck it, I'll try my hand at a job and see what it's like. And she got pregnant, and I was just like, it's time to change my life. You know what I'm saying? I was like, some niggas don't get a chance to do that.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And some niggas don't get a chance to catch themselves before they fall.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with staying, getting out the way, chilling,
yeah, sometimes
living,
you gotta
be here for your family. What's wrong with that?
The one thing about me is about being real and being genuine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be out here selling you a dummy mission. I did a lot. I've been around a lot. I saw a lot.
Yeah.
And I took all of that I seen and did and been around, and I put it on paper and I created art pieces of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that was my purpose to do that. And what you take from it, which is what you take from it. You know what I'm saying? If you inspired by it, then I did my job.
Right.
If you're warned by it, then I did my job. If that's what I did, then that's what I did. That was my purpose. But I'm not one of those niggas. I'm not here to front or act or put on a show.
Definitely.
I'm going to stand on my 10 and I'm going to just do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we respect it, Bath. Yo, I appreciate you, man. Come kicking it with us, telling us your story. Any music coming?
Yeah, man. I got music out right now. I got a project, an EP out called Celebrated Failures. I dropped the album before that called Nobody's Innocent. So Celebrated Failures was the release after it. It's an EP, 5-song, produced by Straight Bangers. Shout out to the whole Straight Bangers for producing my last 4 or 5 projects. Nice. We got another one coming right behind it. Pause. Celebrated Failures 2. Okay. It's part 2 to the first one. It's just, it's all right, you back, y'all. Great body of work. Yeah, I ain't never left. I'm still working. I'm still doing what I love to do. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep doing music and just doing what I love to do. I'm also working on some more music with my man Ron Dills, Ron Thomas. We're working on a project, and I'm just just working, man. I'm gonna figure some other things out and pivot and do some other things. Gotta keep things. I'm hustling, you know what I'm saying? But we got your back over here, Rhymes and Politics, man. I appreciate it, man. Listen, y'all, make sure y'all follow, get that music. How can they follow you? They can follow me at, let me make sure, because I gotta make sure, man. The real Bathgate, let me make sure, man, because I be having, let me see, hold on. Yeah, the real Bathgate is my Instagram handle. My Twitter is, let me see, I think it's just I am Bathgate. Yeah, I was gonna say it. So Twitter's I am Bathgate. And Instagram is The Real Bathgate, and Facebook is Billy Bathgate. Yeah. Yo, make sure y'all follow, support this brother. And yeah, please, man, this please. This is one of the bricks in the hip hop foundation. You can put that work in. We salute you. We celebrate you, Bathgate. Man. I appreciate that. It's an honor to sit here with you, bro. Yo, thank you, brother. Thanks for having me, bro. Come back anytime. Yo, man. No doubt. Anything you got, you want to come back? Like any project you want to promote it, whatever. Yeah. We can do this. I could just sit here with you all day and chop it up. Just chop it up. Yeah. Love your spirit, bro. Thank you, brother. Yeah, great space, man. Absolutely. This is our hip hop country club right here. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. Yo, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Bathgate, Harlem World, Harlem.
Yeah.
A super Harlem night is right here with us. You heard?
Harlem. You heard?
Tap in.
Get this money.
Peace.